I cheated on my wife 3 years ago. She agreed to forgive me if we opened the marriage, but now I live in agony every day. She found out when the other woman's husband showed up at our house on a Tuesday morning. I was at work. He handed my wife printed screenshots of every message I'd sent his wife over 4 months. Every photo, every plan we made, everything. My wife called me and said, "Come home now." When I walked in, she was sitting at the kitchen table with our 2 kids at school, and those papers spread out in front of her. She didn't cry, she didn't yell, she just looked at me with these empty eyes and said, "We can stay together under one condition. The marriage opens or it ends." I tried to argue. I got on my knees. I promised I'd changed. I begged her to give me another chance. She said, "This is your chance. Take it or leave." I took it because I couldn't lose her, and I couldn't do that to our kids. That was 3 years ago. The first 6 months were normal. We had dinner together every night. We watched TV on the couch. She kissed me goodbye in the mornings. I started to think maybe she'd forgotten about the whole open marriage thing. Maybe we could just move past it. Then small things started changing. She'd come home from book club at 11 p.m. instead of 9. She started going to the gym 4 times a week when she used to go twice. She bought new perfume, Victoria's Secret, instead of her usual drugstore brand. She wore it on random Tuesdays when she had nowhere special to go. Every time she worked late, I'd sit in our bedroom staring at the clock wondering if she was with someone. Every time she showered right after coming home, I'd hear the water running and feel like I was going to throw up. I never asked. The rule was, don't ask, don't tell. But it was destroying me from the inside. I started checking her phone when she was asleep. Nothing. I checked the car for receipts. Nothing. But the not knowing was somehow worse than finding proof. Last month, she went on a girls' trip to Miami for 5 days. 5 days where I barely slept. 5 days where I kept checking her location on Find My Friends and she'd turned it off. When she came back, she was glowing, tan and happy in a way I hadn't seen in years. She had new clothes, a new bikini still in her suitcase with the tags cut off. I tried to initiate that night and she said she was tired from traveling. A week later, I found a receipt in her purse from a restaurant in Miami. Bololo. Dinner for 2, wine, dessert, $340. I didn't confront her, but I started keeping track in my phone. Every late night, every unexplained shower, every time she turned me down, every new piece of clothing I didn't recognize. It added up to 23 suspicious incidents in 8 months. 23 times I wondered if my wife was with another man. Yesterday, I couldn't take it anymore. I broke down in our kitchen at 6 a.m. before the kids woke up and begged her to close the marriage. I told her I'd do anything. Therapy, marriage retreats, a second honeymoon, whatever she wanted. I was crying. Actually crying. She just looked at me with this calm expression and said, "I need to show you something." She walked to our bedroom and I followed her. My heart was pounding. She pulled out a leather notebook from her nightstand, the kind with a brass lock on it. Inside were dated entries in her
To continue, tap the arrow in the bottom right corner and copy the link, then tap the CapCut icon in the bottom left. Finally, click the red button.
When I pulled out the tampon in front of her, she actually gagged. "We need to admit you," she said, covering her mouth. "Hospital day 1.